Sean O Pry is coming for your girlfriend or the girl you like. Seriously, he'll set a record for the most 6 out of 10 girls in a single day, so you better hide them. Unfortunately, that's the mindset that many men in the black pill have. And I'm not talking about very unattractive guys, there are also attractive guys who think that way. Women are hypergamous and there's always going to be someone more attractive than you, so eventually she'll leave you for him, or she won't even get into a relationship with you in the first place. We've talked about this before, people always see the world through their lenses. If a guy is too much into black pill, he'll constantly see confirmations of it. And when he sees something different, like a guy with his looks match or someone slightly more attractive than him, he has the cheat sheet ready. Let me see, oh, it must be beta buxing, or he was there first yada yada yada. And the same thing happens with red pillars and pickup artists. They'll see a 50-year-old man with a 25-year-old model inside the yacht, and all they'll talk about is how good his game was and how he tapped into her daddy issues. So, it's clear that when you get sucked into an ideology too much, your worldview will be biased. A common byproduct of hardcore black pillism is to perceive the competition as way higher or better than you. When you constantly see guys like Sean O Pry on your screen, you mistakenly think that this is more common than it actually is. Do you know how many guys like him are out there, meaning guys who have pretty much everything perfect? Hunter eyes, chiseled jawline, cheekbones, symmetry, hairline, etc. If your answer was 10%, you're way off. If it was 1%, you're still pretty off. How many guys like him have you seen on the street? I've never seen one in my entire life. The beauty standards in the black pill community have skyrocketed, it's seriously getting out of hand. Besides pinpointing little flaws of someone who's generally attractive, black pillars are now imagining things. I was watching a Gerbert Johnson video, and people were saying that he has a subhuman eye area. The guy has narrow-shaped eyes, no sclera show, good under-eye support, he has a great color, his eyelid exposure is minimal, and yet some people thought that his eyes are below average. The good thing is that guys who think and comment stuff like that usually gravitate towards toxic channels, but sometimes they spill over to the rest of us. Anyway, the point is that the chads that are used on Tinder experiment videos do not exist in your everyday life. They do not breathe the same air as you, and the last thing they care about is the 6 out of 10 girl that you've fallen in love with. I don't know if you've watched the Life of a Chad videos I've made, but long story short, it's about friends and acquaintances of mine who have a great dating life. I can assure you, none of these guys are close to what hardcore black pillars describe as a chad. They sure are above average, but they're far from models, and that's what the hardcore black pill idolizes, male models. My best friend is tall and jacked, but he has facial flaws. No hunter eyes, not even almond eyes, big nose, high hairline. But he has a nice bone structure and a great smile, and these coupled with his physique are enough for him to land 7s, 8s and 9s. My other chad friend from the army doesn't have hunter eyes either, and he's 5'11" with shoes. When we saw his girlfriend, our jaws dropped, and now he's dating an actress who appears on a TV series, super cute girl. Do you remember a guy who I've mentioned many times, who is overweight and yet somehow he has hollow cheeks? The man has a round belly and he's also barely 5'11", yet his girlfriend is very attractive. I can go on and on. The point is that you don't need to have everything on point, and the guys that have everything on point are extremely rare to find. This thing hit me when I was at a bar with my best friend. There was a waitress who had probably one of the top 5 faces I've seen in my life. We were wondering who's her boyfriend. One day we saw her with him and the guy was attractive, but nothing special like her. He was definitely her type, she had a quote-unquote rebel look, black clothes, tattoos etc., and her boyfriend looked similar, long hair, baggy clothes and tattoos. He didn't have a chiseled jawline, as a matter of fact her jawline absolutely mogged his, no hunter eyes either. Of course, all these guys I mentioned are above average looking, but nothing like the internet standards. Instead of comparing yourself to male models, here's what you do. Open your Facebook or your Instagram and look at your circle, because that's your competition, not Jeremy Meeks. See how many of these guys actually mog you. This will give you an accurate representation of what's the competition and where you stand. Let's say that you're an average looking guy. What you'll see is that there are a few people that it's crystal clear that they're better looking than you. But this number will be relatively small, something around 10 to 20%. Then, you'll see the same for people that you absolutely mog. And then at the middle there's going to be a lot of debate, and when a girl is between you and another guy in the average spectrum, it ultimately comes down to types, or social circle or game. You'll see that some guys are slightly better looking than you but you're taller, or that some are taller but you're more jacked, etc., etc. Then, look at these guys' relationship status. If you're somewhere in the middle of attractiveness, you'll see that some guys who look similar to you have girlfriends, while others don't. The guys at the very top will almost always have a girlfriend, and the guys at the bottom usually don't have any, or maybe they have someone equally unattractive. And that's pretty much the reality. That's the black pill for me. But hardcore black pillers aren't satisfied with this. They want to make you think that if you don't look like prime Brad Pitt, then it's over. Don't fall for this, please. Go touch some grass. Things aren't as easy as pickup artists try to make them seem, but they're not as hard as hardcore black pillers make them seem either. To give you an example of how delusional these people are, there's a creator, who I won't name because I don't want to make it seem like a diss, who did the following. Casual complaining about his situation, he said that he gym maxed and that he style maxed, and anyway, no matter what he did, he couldn't get quote unquote there. And I usually have zero tolerance for online complainers, but his story kinda touched me. I'm like, poor guy, is it really that hard in his area? He was around a 5 by the way, but as I kept watching, it finally made sense. The guy was way past his prime and yet he wanted a young Stacy. That's the black pill, ladies and gentlemen. A Gen X guy who can't have a Gen Z model. And he made a whole channel to complain about his terrible life. Be careful who you listen to. There are plenty of delusional people out there. 20-year-old gurus who know everything, guys who can't even say hi to their neighbor, people with crazy standards that don't realize how crazy their standards are, etc., etc. There was a guy in my comments who said that Billie Eilish is a 3. And I've even done a video on her and her hypocritical views, but if people think that a girl with blue eyes, perfect nose, perfect teeth, nice lips, etc., etc., is average or below, then yes, the black pill is real and you won't find what you call attractive. That's another thing in this community. People get super detailed about men's faces and their overall attractiveness, but they don't know what's their looks match. I mean, that's the whole point. What girls can you get, not what number you are on an imaginary scale. There was another creator who said that he's better at rating men's faces than women's. Again, not a diss, but isn't this crazy? A man saying that he knows well what's attractive in men, but doesn't know as well what's attractive in women. So he has a better understanding of the female gaze compared to the male gaze, while being a man. You can't make this stuff up. The looks theory can either be a massive gift or a curse. One guy can learn about the black pill, improve his looks, set realistic standards, get a girlfriend and be happy, while another guy can learn about it and complain online. Once again, a massive problem is people's standards. I see plenty of sub-5 couples, but the problem is that many sub-5 guys aren't satisfied with what they can get, and they blame their problems to society, chads, and women. It is true that men have to put in more work than women, and that we have to be patient and get rejected quite a lot, but the "it's over" concept is flawed. Are you a very unattractive guy who only wants attractive girls? Then yes, we could talk about it being over, but even then there are workarounds. You have to know the numbers. If you try to pull off that 1% miracle, then don't complain about getting rejected. But if you have a 20% chance with a girl, then it's as simple as approaching 5 of them. Another huge problem of the black pill, nobody talks about game, without the pickup BS of course, and how to actually get into a place where you can actually get rejected. Most guys don't even get rejected, because they don't even put themselves into a position to try in the first place. I've talked a bit about that on other videos, but the next one will be solely dedicated to this, and how I got every girl I've had to date. Share your thoughts below and I'll see you soon.